Zephyr's crystalline appendages trembled against the observation deck's bioluminescent controls as the massive vessel materialized in Kepler 442b's atmosphere. The ship was unlike anything the ethereals had encountered in their 3 millennia of cosmic observation, crude yet purposeful, metallic yet somehow alive with electromagnetic pulses that made their sensitive neural networks tingle with unease. Elder Luminara, Zephyr whispered through the collective consciousness network that connected all ethereals across their homeworld. The visitors. They're unlike the others. Elder Luminara's form shimmered into the observation chamber, her ancient consciousness manifesting as swirling patterns of light and energy. For 2,000 years, she had witnessed the arrival of various species, the peaceful Aquarians with their water-based vessels, the methodical crystalline collective with their geometric ships, even the enigmatic shadow dwellers who spoke only in mathematical equations. But these beings were different. "Show me their biological signatures," Luminara commanded, her voice resonating through the chamber like gentle chimes. Zephyr activated the quantum scanners, and the data streams flowed through their shared consciousness like a river of incomprehensible information. The readings were chaotic, almost violent in their intensity. These creatures, humans, as their primitive communication signals suggested, were a paradox wrapped in flesh and bone. They're carbon-based, Zephyr observed, incredulity coloring their thought patterns. But their neural activity, it's so primitive, yet so intense. How do they function with such emotional turbulence? The human vessel settled in the designated landing zone, scarring the crystalline surface of the sacred greeting grounds with its harsh metallic bulk. Smoke and fire erupted from its propulsion systems, a sight that made the gathered ethereals recoil in horror. Their own ships moved through space by harmonizing with cosmic energy fields, leaving no trace of their passage. As the humans emerged from their vessel, the ethereals watched in fascination and growing concern. These beings walked on only 2 appendages, their bodies covered in strange artificial skins that seemed to serve no biological purpose. Most disturbing of all, their emotional emanations were chaotic storms of conflicting desires, fears, and ambitions. Captain Sarah Chen was the first to step onto the alien soil, her environmental suit sensors feeding her a constant stream of data about the strange world they had found. Behind her, the first contact team moved with military precision, their faces hidden behind reflective visors that the ethereals found utterly incomprehensible. Why do they hide their features? Young ethereal Prism wondered, their curiosity rippling through the collective consciousness. Are they ashamed of their natural forms? Perhaps, Luminara replied thoughtfully, they fear vulnerability. The concept was alien to the ethereals, who existed as pure energy beings capable of shifting between physical and non-physical states at will. Vulnerability was not a condition they could easily comprehend. Their society had evolved beyond the need for deception or concealment. Dr. James Wright, the mission xenobiologist, knelt to examine the glowing flora that carpeted the landing site. His instruments detected energy signatures unlike anything in Earth's databases, but he approached his analysis with the methodical brutality that characterized human scientific inquiry: cutting, sampling, measuring, cataloging. The ethereals watched in growing alarm as Wright's team began dissecting their sacred harmony plants, the living crystalline organisms that served as the nervous system of their entire ecosystem. Each cut sent waves of distress through the collective consciousness, yet the humans seemed oblivious to the pain they were causing. They cannot perceive the life energy, Elder Luminara realized with dawning horror. To them, our living world is merely matter. Linguistic specialist Dr. Maria Santos activated her translation protocols, sending mathematical sequences and pictographic messages toward the obvious structures that dotted the landscape. The ethereals received these communications as crude hammering against their delicate neural networks, like someone shouting in a library. They communicate through vibrations in the atmosphere, Zephyr observed. How limiting. How isolated. The revelation struck the assembled ethereals like a revelation. These humans existed as separate entities, trapped within individual bodies, forced to communicate through primitive sound waves. They could not share thoughts, emotions, or experiences directly. Each human was alone in their own consciousness, struggling to bridge the gap between their inner worlds and external reality. Yet as the hours passed, the ethereals began to notice something remarkable about these strange visitors. Despite their primitive communication methods, the humans worked together with impressive coordination. Despite their emotional chaos, they showed moments of stunning creativity and problem-solving ability. Despite their isolation from one another, they demonstrated something the ethereals had never encountered before. What is that energy pattern emanating from the female leader? Prism asked, watching Captain Chen as she helped an injured team member. Luminara focused her perception, analyzing the complex interplay of neural activity and biochemical responses. I believe, she said slowly, they call it love. The concept was revolutionary. The ethereals shared everything: thoughts, emotions, experiences through their collective consciousness. But these humans had developed something perhaps more precious: the ability to choose to care for one another despite their fundamental isolation. As the human ship prepared to depart 3 days later, Elder Luminara made an unprecedented decision. She manifested her physical form and approached Captain Chen directly, her luminescent body causing the human's instruments to register impossible energy readings. Captain Chen froze, her hand instinctively moving to her sidearm, before training and curiosity overrode fear. She was looking at something that defied every law of physics. She understood a being of pure light that somehow conveyed intelligence, wisdom, and gentle curiosity. Through careful manipulation of electromagnetic fields, Luminara managed to transmit a simple message to the human's communication systems: welcome. You are not alone. The words appeared on every screen in the ship simultaneously, and Captain Chen felt tears streaming down her face inside her helmet. In that moment, she understood that humanity had just taken its first step into a larger universe, one where isolation was not the natural state of consciousness. As the human vessel disappeared into the depths of space, the ethereals gathered in their meditation chambers to process what they had learned. These crude, violent, beautiful creatures had taught them something profound about the nature of existence itself. Sometimes, the greatest gifts came not from perfection, but from the struggle to connect across the vast distances that separated one soul from another. The day the humans came, the universe became a larger, lonelier, and infinitely more precious place.